So again, good morning. This is Nick Petro with the National Weather Service in Raleigh with the winter weather briefing covering the rest of this storm that we're dealing with now, 11:30 Saturday morning, January 7th. And on this introduction slide, I put together this quick hand-drawn map this morning to show you where basically where most of the snow and sleet has fallen. Now, we're going to be updating this throughout the day as we get more and more reports, but the key takeaway from this storm, and we were, as we presented alternate scenarios the last couple days, we were concerned about how far north that warm air would get and where that precipitation type changeover would occur. And indeed, it was a little bit further north than perhaps than what we expected. What struck me is how amazing the the I-85 highway there corridor, basically delineated where the heaviest snow fell versus where it dropped off pretty rapidly. So yeah, right along that Interstate 85 corridor and points north is where the heaviest snow fell. Again, we were sort of alluding to that in our briefings leading up to this event, but once you got much south of Interstate 85, that transition line occurred very rapidly. When you have a quick transition, say from, I'll give you an example there, say from 8 inches across northern Alamance County to 2 inches across southern Alamance County, we call that that quick change, we call that a very tight gradient, very rapid change in amounts. And indeed that was the case because the warm air, the edge of the, we call the warm nose, pushed that far north. The edge of the warm nose was basically up along and where you see that blue line. That blue line, by the way, is the 3-inch line. South of that blue line, there was a pocket of warm air aloft, we call warm nose, that when the snow fell out of the cloud, it encountered that warm air aloft, it melted, became a raindrop, and then as it encountered colder air near the surface, it refroze into sleet pellets, or in some cases freezing rain. Now, of course, until it really cooled down in the evening, it was a lot of rain anywhere in most places. So nevertheless, we did see quite a bit of substantial accumulation of sleet, where sleet did fall. And even though we didn't get the snowfall amounts that we were expecting, say across the immediate Raleigh metro area, looking out the window here, I could tell you, it's not, you don't want to be out on those roads, with an inch plus of sleet on the roads. Let me tell you, it's just as dangerous. So I think the impacts more or less were the same with all the sleet that fell. So nevertheless, that's how it all broke down last night. So what can we expect moving forward? Let me show you the radar right now. Let me just switch screens here to the live radar. This is snow across the entire state, just about. Let me actually pause it to the latest frame here. There's still a few reports of maybe some sleet, but this is all snow here across the central northern Piedmont and even down into the Sandhills and southern I-95 corridor. It has turned cold enough. These are the current temperatures. So you can see mid to upper 20s across just about the entire state. The only place that's above freezing still is right on the coast, the Outer Banks, Morehead City on up to the Outer Banks. So anyway, even those locations are going to drop here as we head through the day. Point is that where all that rain fell, and there was a pretty decent amount of rain, particularly south and east of Raleigh, that fell. Any lingering water on the roads is going to freeze. So either way you slice it, whether it's from snow, whether it's from sleet, whether it's from water that freezes, whether it's from simply freezing rain, there's still going to be quite a bit of travel impacts and hazardous travel impacts at that. So anyway, that's the way this is shaping up. And again, what we could get out of this little batch here. Let me go ahead and put it back into loop. Maybe another inch or so of snow accumulation. If you get under one of these heavier bands that just persists over your area for a little while, you might pick up a ½ inch to an inch at most. But nevertheless, again, any lingering water underneath is going to refreeze today and tonight. So very hazardous travel conditions and certainly we still recommend everybody just try to stay home if you can. So anyway, that's the current radar loop. Back to the back to the slides here, and as I close that program I'm using, hopefully these hopefully these slides won't flicker anymore. But again, here's the accumulation map that I was showing earlier, and I emailed this out to everyone earlier, so everybody should have this already. Let's go ahead and move forward. Simulations for the rest of today. So 11 o'clock live radars on the upper left. Simulated radar, what the radar may look like is begins in the upper right and the images at the bottom. So that back edge of what's left, what you're seeing on radar now, that back edge should be up to about Greensboro down to Troy as of by 1 p.m. or so. By 3 p.m., the back edge of that lingering leftover light snow should be from, say, Henderson to Raleigh down to just west of Fayetteville. And then by 5 p.m., it should be pretty much done across all of central North Carolina. Any lingering snow showers will be east of I-95 by 5 o'clock. It'll be east of the Outer Banks probably by 8 p.m. So anyway, a few leftover snow showers to deal with for the rest of today. Maybe a coating, maybe a ½ inch to an inch in spots that are lucky that get under a persistent snow shower. So as we move beyond the leftover snow showers, the main story is going to transition to the bitter cold, and I'll even say dangerous cold temperatures this weekend into early next week. These two maps show today's expected highs, which are probably occurring right now. Actually, it's probably going to stay the same or drop from this point forward. And in the lower right is tonight's lows. And one thing you'll notice is we're expecting lows in single digits across much of central North Carolina. Maybe the I-95 corridor might hang into the lower teens, but places, especially where there's snowpack, look for low temperatures tonight, 7, 8, maybe 9 degrees. And even places, as I pointed out, that didn't get much snow or even sleet, what water is left on the roads, that's going to freeze too. So lots of black ice issues tonight, and just plain, hazardous travel conditions where all the heaviest snow fell. This screen here shows tomorrow's highs in the left, and tomorrow night's lows on the right. And what I'll point out again is we stay below freezing during the day tomorrow across most of central North Carolina. But look at those lows tomorrow night, Sunday night. We're talking some places, again, particularly where the heaviest snow fell, getting down to around 0. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 1 or 2 isolated spots that actually drop below 0. That's pretty rare. That doesn't happen very often in our parts of the country. So single digits don't happen very often, especially below 0. I mean, that's just very, very rare, but it's being aided by the snowpack. So in addition to the cold air mass. So now we're looking at, not only black ice, but, you really can't treat that with salt. Obviously, that's too cold, but that may also introduce problems with, pipes freezing and that sort of thing. So, so keep that in mind too. And please remember to take care of any exposed pipes and get those ready for these just record cold temperatures. How about Monday's highs? Again, just barely getting around freezing. If you rise above freezing, if you get above 32 on Monday, consider yourself lucky. Monday night into Tuesday morning, still another cold night. We're looking at lows in the teens again. Monday night into Tuesday morning. So again, perhaps some lingering black ice issues, again, especially where the heaviest snow fell along and north of that I-85 corridor. The good news is things finally get above freezing, low to mid 40s come Tuesday for highs, and then, if we're lucky, we'll stay above freezing for lows come Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So right now we're looking at lows in the mid to upper 30s come Wednesday morning. Might be a little colder than that, again, where that snowpack is along and north of I-85. Here's another way of looking at these temperatures. I just grabbed a few selected cities. Again, these readings here are bitterly cold. Not only black ice issues, but we have to watch out for, pipe bursting, as we sometimes call it. Cold temperatures for these parts of the country, or for this part of the country, with temperatures again finally getting above freezing. I think temperature is going to get above freezing almost just about everywhere by about 10, maybe 11 a.m. Tuesday morning. So if you're wondering what time of the day can I expect temperature to get above freezing, 10, 11 a.m. Tuesday morning. Prior to that, below freezing just about the entire stretch of time. All right, so what are the key takeaways from this briefing? Precip type is snow across the entire state now. Any remaining snow showers will exit central North Carolina by mid-afternoon and exit the East Coast by mid-evening today. Dry weather thereafter. Maybe another inch or so of snow may accumulate where the more persistent bands of snow set up. Temps will fall today. It'll be dry tonight, but very cold temperatures expected tonight through early next week. High temperatures struggling to reach freezing Sunday and Monday. Falling into the teens tonight, single digits Sunday night, and teens again Monday night. I underlined in bold and highlighted every which way I could. The next statement, hazardous travel conditions will continue. It's plain and simple with the sleet, the freezing water on the roads, the snow, hazardous travel right through this weekend, even into early next week. Best advice is just stay home, stay off the roads if you can. Scattered areas of black ice, again, just one more time, that'll be likely a problem during the night and into the morning hours tonight right through Tuesday morning. So that's key takeaways. This is, again, the last briefing webinar, I should say, for this particular event. We will continue to send out PowerPoint slides. We'll update the PowerPoint slides as we head through the weekend with temperature information and that sort of thing. So keep in touch with your email. We'll get email updates, but again, this is the last webinar of this storm series. Thanks so much for joining us on this series of webinars. I hope you found them useful.